Hey, what's going on YouTube? Naded here, back again with another video for you guys, and today I wanted to talk about my Halo 3 multiplayer map tier list and which maps I think are the best in the game and which maps I think are the worst in the game. Also want to hear your opinion on this matter as well, so put down in the comments below which Halo 3 maps are your favorite or least favorite to play. Definitely going to be reading through the comments on this one because there are so many great Halo 3 maps, and Halo 3 is such a great game that you could really play on any of these maps and have so much fun. Even the bottom tier maps, top tier maps, doesn't matter. Halo 3 is such a great game, you're going to have fun regardless. But for the sake of ranking the Halo 3 maps from my favorite to least favorite, this is how I have them ranked. Starting with S tier with the Pit, Guardian, Heretic, Narrows, and Valhalla. Just 5 all-star iconic Halo maps. You have the Pit, which was remade in like every Halo after Halo 3 basically. Guardian with Lockout Halo 2 vibes, but it's with a different flow, with the lifts, different art. Just such an iconic community map as well. Played on 1v1s, 2v2s, 4v4s, free-for-all, doesn't matter. All of these maps in S tier are going to be incredible pretty much on any game type that you play. But Heretic, the remake of Midship, speaks for itself. I mean, Midship, one of the most iconic maps in Halo history. They remade it in Halo 3. Of course, it's going to be great. It's going to be S tier. Such a great arena map. Plays well on pretty much any game type. Narrows, super unique map with fighting super high up, you know, in the mountains on a bridge with the lifts, snipers. So many great moments on this map. Narrows, one of the best maps in Halo 3, in my opinion, which is why it's S tier. And then, of course, Valhalla, the gold standard for what you want your big team battle maps to be like. You know, the art style, the flow on Valhalla, so incredible. My favorite big team battle map to play by far, which is why it's an S tier. Those are my 5 S tier maps. Moving down to the A tier, you have Construct, Epitaph, or Epilogue, which is Epitaph with the shield doors removed. Then you have Citadel, Isolation, Avalanche, and Rat's Nest. I have 6 maps in A tier, starting with the big team maps, Avalanche and Rat's Nest. 2 of my top 3 big team maps in the game. Avalanche, super fun design, love the art on it. You have the Hornets flying around, the sniper play, you have the inside areas, super fun to play CTF on. Any big team battle game type, really, Avalanche is gonna feel great. Super fun to play. Rat's Nest, I always have fun on that map because you can play the big team map in more of a smaller area if you just stay on the inside, or you can go around on the racetrack around the map in a mongoose, a warthog. So much fun to play, you know, just getting the flag, running out of the base, getting in the warthog, and driving around the outside of the map on Rat's Nest to get the score. Super fun map, which is why it is in the A tier for me. Moving on to the smaller maps here, you have Construct, which is just a super unique map overall, focused on 3 lifts to get up top. It was in MLG play. It's not S tier for me because it can be kind of annoying to play because you can get stuck on the bottom and there's not much you can really do since people are like using their radar, you know, to know which lift you're going up. But regardless, I still think it's a super fun map and one of the most fun maps in the game, which is why I have it at A tier. And then these ones might be a little controversial for some people, maybe not though, but Epitaph and Citadel, both in A tier for me. Epitaph is just a super iconic map, in my opinion, for Halo 3, especially for free-for-all. And just in general, I love the art style on it. So many cool ledges you can get up on top of. You have sniper in play, power-ups, things like that. And I really like Epitaph. I think it's a very well-designed map overall. A lot of cool jumps, cool ledges, and just areas you can go to, which is why I have it in A tier. And then Citadel, I have it A tier as well because it's a symmetrical map. It honestly could have been an MLG potentially, but I personally love playing on Citadel. Super just competitive arena map, that smaller symmetrical feel. Love the symmetrical maps for Halo, which is why it's going to be an A tier for me. Isolation as well might be a little controversial to be an A. I know some people don't like Isolation. Personally, I love Isolation. Super fun to play. With the sniper, the rockets down low. The map art design on this is just incredible, with the flood just taking over the map, you know, just devouring all areas of the map throughout the game. You have shotgun. It can get a little campy down low, but overall it's just so much fun to play, especially hiding up in the trees, things like that, which is why I have it at A tier. And even Isolation was considered for MLG at one point. But moving on to the B tier maps, B tier I have Foundry, Cold Storage, Blackout, Assembly, Icebox, and Last Resort. More so of the mid tier, smaller maps. In this category, we have one big team map with Last Resort. which is the remake of Zanzibar. Very decent map, honestly. I like Last Resort, not as much as Valhalla, Avalanche, and Rat's Nest, but it is a solid big team map, which is why I have it at B. And also, it's a Halo 2 remake, the same as Blackout and Icebox as well. Also, 2 Halo 2 remake maps. But for B, I have at Foundry. Yeah, Foundry, very solid map overall. I mean, it's the original Forge map. The Forge canvas that you can make your Forge maps on. I think they did a good job with it. You know, you have 2 bases, you have snipers. It's more of a chaotic type of map, close quarters with a lot of weapons, and just, you know, which is kind of like how they probably wanted it to be. You know, just more chaotic, close-paced or close-range, fast-paced combat. And then you have Cold Storage. For me, the remake of Chill Out in Halo 1, and I love Cold Storage in Halo 3, which is why I have it at B. Super fun 2v2 map, even fun for 4v4s as well. You know, and it really stays true to the original, and it plays really, really well in Halo 3. Despite being a Halo 1 remake, you know, you would think the different mechanics of the games would maybe change the way the map would feel or play, but I really think they did a great job with Cold Storage to have it stay true to the original kind of flow of the map, but also the art design is just super fun on Cold Storage with all the little you know, different areas of the map. And you know, one part has like flood, and you know, another part has that like giant robot guy up on top of the roof looking, you know, shining the light down on people. And you know, it's just an overall really fun map to play, in my opinion, which is why I have it at B. And then of course you have Blackout, the remake of Lockout from Halo 2, which some people didn't really like Blackout. You know, there's some design changes with it. It honestly could have been better than B if they maybe made it a little bit more true to the original. But overall, I really think Blackout is still a fun map for 2v2s, 4v4s, which is why I have it at B. Assembly, also a nice symmetrical map that is fun to play. Small arena map. Even that map was considered for MLG, as well as Blackout was also considered for MLG at one point. But I actually have Icebox in B, which is more of a newer Halo 3 map since it got ported from Halo Online, which was another Halo game that, you know, didn't get made, and they ported some of the maps from that game over into MCC, Icebox being one of them, and it's the remake of Turf from Halo 2, and I actually think they did a phenomenal job with Icebox. I think it's one of the more it's a mid-tier map in the game, but it's one of the better maps to play, I would say, because I mean, it stays so true to the original. Super amazing art style on it, and honestly, it plays a lot like the original Turf. So I think they did a really great job with it, which is why I have it at B tier. Super fun map to play, and then, you know, that's pretty much it for the B tier. But C tier maps, guys, going to more of the bottom tier maps. C tier, I have Ghost Town, High Ground, Standoff, Longshore, and Sand Trap. So pretty much 3 big team maps in here. Standoff, I guess, could be considered a 4v4 map, but overall, more of the lower tier big team maps for me. Standoff, just, you know, no snipers on the maps, you know, just so very Warthog focused. Still a fun map, but not going to be as fun as your Rat's Nest or your Valhalla, something like that. But Longshore, pretty good map, you know, as well as Sand Trap. But for me, not as much fun as Avalanche and Rat's Nest. So going to have it a little bit lower. I still think Last Resort is going to be better than Longshore and Sand Trap, but I don't know. Sand Trap and Longshore might be a little bit higher on some people's list. Personally, I don't really like them as much, so that is why they're in C for me. I have had a lot of fun on these maps, though, regardless, but I still think Avalanche, Rat's Nest, Valhalla, Last Resort still much better than Sand Trap and Longshore, as well as Standoff. But with that being said, they're still solid maps. But High Ground and Ghost Town, more of the 4v4, you know, different feel. You know, High Ground is more so for like one bomb and, you know, pushing into the base. Overall, it's a solid map for that type of game type. But I think overall, High Ground and Ghost Town more so are just not as good as a lot of the other maps in the game, which is why I have them at C. I still like the maps and I have fun playing on them, but I think more so Ghost Town and High Ground, just they're not as fun as, you know, the other smaller maps in the game, and they're more so based for like maybe specific game types. But overall, still very fun, and just, you know, really any of these maps in C could be maybe moved up or down a little bit, but I would still consider the maps in C worse than the ones I've ranked above them, just in my personal opinion. You know, because like I said, it really is tough to rank all of the maps in Halo 3 because they really are all pretty great. But this is how I would do it. And last but not least, the D tier maps. You have Orbital, Snowbound, Waterfall, Sandbox, and Edge. Waterfall and Edge, both maps that just got added into Halo 3 fairly recently from the Halo Online port. I honestly think they're okay maps. Are they really that great though? I don't know. Waterfall, it kind of reminds me, really all of these bottom tier maps are just kind of like, you know, just either you're on one side or the other. And you know, it's, I don't know, because like, or like, let's say Snowbound, you know, for example, you're either playing on the bottom of the map or you're on top of the map. A lot of people like to camp down low on Snowbound in the caves, you know, in the bases, stuff like that. So it can be kind of annoying to play. Same thing with Orbital. You know, you're just fighting in hallways. People can just camp in one hallway or a base. You know, and same thing with Waterfall as well. You know, you have two bases and then you have, you know, the rocket area, the sniper area, and you're either going to be in the rocket or sniper area, or you're going to be trapped in one of the bases and having to go down low. I don't know. I still have a lot of fun on these bottom tier maps. Honestly, like Orbital, I have a ton of fun on. Waterfall, Edge, it doesn't matter. Halo 3, I can have fun on any of these maps, but for the sake of ranking them, like I said, you know, I really do think the map design of Orbital, Snowbound, Waterfall, Sandbox, and Edge more than likely are not going to be in the upper echelon of maps for Halo 3, but you know, Orbital just being, you know, basically a couple hallways, just fighting hallway wars. Although it is a fun map, it's unique. It's nice to have different unique maps, but I still don't think it's as much fun to play as, you know, like Blackout or Assembly, Cold Stored Foundry, things like that. Snowbound can be an annoying map to play. You have two beam rifles, which you know, beam rifle can be an annoying gun to fight against, but also just the whole entire like bottom area of the map just being completely covered, camping with shotguns, stuff like that. People don't really like Snowbound as much. Have it on the bottom tier. And then obviously the two newer maps, Edge and Waterfall, they're okay, but you know, still gonna have them probably on the bottom tier. You know, they're not insanely good. I don't think they're better than Ghost Town or High Ground, really. You know, if anything, they're probably the same or worse. And then you know, Sandbox being the Forge Canvas, it's an okay map, but still gonna put it on the bottom. But what do you guys think, man? I don't know. I tried to talk about all the maps the best I could. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button. Subscribe to this channel for daily Halo content, guys. And like I said, let me know what your favorite Halo 3 maps are, your least favorite. These are mine. And hey, I will see you guys in the next one.